Thank you. My name is Nick Grayson. I'm from Birmingham City Council. There's something I find deeply ironic about an NHS system to improve things, particularly around healthcare, that's called ecosystem, when all the research around the world proves beyond doubt that people's first response to healthcare comes from the ecosystem, i.e. the natural world, and that's something that's been lost with industrial societies, and yet the health service seemed completely devoid from being able to listen to that research message from around the world, that actually if we put people in touch with natural systems, they don't get ill by any means the way that they are at the moment. It's part of the problem, not part of the solution. It just worries me that the system that's been created will be that we'll all be able to complete our obesity forms online while sat on the sofa.
So I'm not sure what the solution to that though is. I mean, we're sort of an industrial society. I don't know, Charles.
I think there's something very important to that. I was very struck, actually listening both to Alex and Jeff, that there's a project that I know in Africa called Mothers to Mothers, which is about HIV-positive mothers helping other HIV-positive mothers. And there's something really, really ancient about it, which is mothers helping other mothers. I mean, it taps into something really ancient, but the guy who's really helped to scale it ran entertainment channels in US television. And he combined this very sort of old way of thinking about it with a sort of entertainment kind of mindset. And basically, when they approach new countries, they think we're going to take this to scale like a television channel. So there's something that in that combination, which I think is very powerful. How do you make it address people in a kind of modern language and in an engaging way, and yet tap into quite old things? And how you exercise, how you eat, all this stuff is critically important. And actually, one of the best things, I would imagine, NHS Local, I would imagine, will not be successful unless it helps people to map their food sources, for instance, in the Midlands, and to think about food, exercise in completely different ways. I mean, if that's not a big part of it in the next few years, then it's just a sort of service delivery kind of thing, isn't it?
Does that mean some tough ethical decisions? For example, the way that brands like Cadbury's and stuff, which are sponsors of the Olympics, you know, are there some ethical decisions about what companies are allowed to be part of your thinking?
Well, I mean, there is one of the big issues in my mind, which I think Jeff will face, is a lot of these communities form around shared interests. They're not owned by institutions, so something that starts off with NHS as the hub has already decided that. Unless, I mean, interestingly, Alex, you know, that starts with something that's quite extreme, quite grabbing, quite motivating as the hub in a sense. It doesn't say start with NHS. I mean, my point is anyone who says they recognise health as an issue is already probably ill. And it's getting to people who aren't ill, but could become,